Hello and welcome to today's session. My name is Johannes Rabauer. I'm the host for this evening, but I am not alone today. I have Maximilian Jesch with me from IBM. He's a senior outbound product manager for IBM Bob, and we will find out what that means because I don't know. So today we will be talking about IBM Bob, which is an AI-enhanced IDE from IBM. And a couple of days ago, they released version 2 of it. So we will look into this. This session is presented by Jack Oberpfalz, which is the Java user group in Weiden in der Oberpfalz. But it's not only for Java, it's in general about, well, AI users, I would say, AI coders. And as always, this session is live and unscripted, so expect mistakes, but there's always something to learn. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce to you Maximilian Jesch. Hi, Max.
Hi,
how are you? Hi.
Pretty good. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm great, thank you. So I just introduced you as Senior Outbound Product Manager for IBM Bob. Tell me something about this. What do you do?
What do I do? You said you don't even know what that means. Sometimes I don't either. It's where do I start? Like, what do? I do a lot of. It's a mix of like working with a product team, figuring out what to build, but also a lot like DevRel kind of work. Maybe some of you might have seen some videos of mine. If you are adjacent to the IBM LinkedIn bubble, you probably have a hard time getting past my face. So that's what I do a lot, kind of explaining what Bob is, making it kind of visual, doing a bit of like social DevRel kind of work. And I guess that's the most part of my job. But one thing to want to point out here, I mean, even though IBM, it's a very big company, but everything around Bob is a bit more like a startup within the big company. Like, we work in very agile teams, and so the roles, they differ a lot. I mean, maybe outbound product manager means something different in, I don't know, 3 months from now.
Okay,
but that's what I do now.
All right. Okay. So that's what you do now. But I read up on you, and you've been with AI. You've been working with AI since 2017, which is quite a long time for AI.
Yes, that is a very long time actually, and it's like I got very lucky. I joined that whole AI hype train in the last hype cycle. So I'm on my second hype cycle here. I've been in automotive for quite some time. Computer vision. I mean, that's what you did back then with like AI. I mean, there was natural language processing, but honestly, it didn't really go anywhere. Looking back in hindsight, the only thing that ever really worked was computer vision. So I did that for a long time, actually, like building my own. We had a lot of under the desk servers. Like, I have assembled a lot of GPUs in my days, collecting data, labeling data, training models. Back in those days where you actually designed your own models, it was pretty awesome. But that's also kind of an interesting twist, because then in like 2019, nobody in the automotive industry really cared about computer vision that much, because we collectively realized that autonomous driving takes a lot more than just computer vision. And kind of the hype was over. And that also meant for me that I needed to do something else, which meant cloud and Kubernetes and Docker and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes in your career, you get lucky, and like some skills you had before kind of get a revival. And that's where I am now. I would have never thought that all the neural network basics that I studied 10 years ago would become so super handy now. But here we are in this crazy madness of large language models and AI coding assistants.
Yeah, but I imagine it very differently back then, AI. But it meant something different, and you probably did something different. So does that knowledge of that time help you now with AI?
It kind of does. And we got to be a bit careful though, because the way the speed that knowledge becomes redundant is faster than ever. So everything you wanted, you can actually see that if you interact with, maybe some of you might know that, if you interact with people and you hear people that actually always want to train large language models, those are the people that were very active in like the last hype cycle, because that's where you trained models all the time. That was just the thing you did. You trained a model. And we all know that this is not how it works anymore. But the key thing that it taught me is that you gotta think very strictly in inputs and outputs. And like back in the computer vision days, you had your image and you kind of disassembled it to be a vector. And that vector went through this neural network and out came a classification or bounding boxes or whatever. But it was like very defined input-output pairs.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, that is still true. I mean, obviously, outputs can be of arbitrary length and stuff, but like, stuff works differently. But still, at the end of the day, you put numbers in, you get numbers out. That's what it is. Those numbers are tokens in this case. Tokens in, tokens out. That's kind of the core principle. And doing all this crazy agentic stuff, you have to remind yourself of that pretty often. Like the core thing that we're working with is a magic machine that chucks in tokens and spits out tokens. And everything else is like these days we call it a harness, like the wiring and the plumbing around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it does give me a somewhat valuable intuition, but you always got to be really vigilant, like what parts of that knowledge are still up to date and which ones you have to actively forget.
Yeah. All right. Okay, but today we are here to talk about IBM Bob. I had Ryan with me before for IBM Bob version 1, and it was pretty new back then. I think it was pretty a few weeks after the V1 release.
So right after GA, general availability.
Right. And so what changed now?
A whole lot changed, at least under the hood. I mean, if you look at Bob now and you looked at Bob, that was like, 4 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
It does not look fundamentally different. There are some changes in the way we approach things, like we changed the way we do this stuff with modes. We will see those modes later. But it still looks fundamentally similar, but we literally rewrote everything under the hood. The whole harness, like I would argue that there's not a single line of code left from when you interacted with it.
Yeah.
Completely rewritten. And we've got big plans with it. I mean, can't say, I can't talk too much about details here, but having this agent, this core agentic loop, it's so unbelievably versatile. And you actually build a really good harness. I mean, we see it all over the place, but if you get a really good harness, this can enable so many stuff, also stuff that goes way beyond just coding applications. But it's like the way we will see sub-agents for sure, the way those work, we will see those sub-tasks, the way we parallelize everything under the hood, that is completely different. Another important topic, we will probably see that when we do a little bit of coding, is model routing. That's one of the special, that's a very special thing about Bob. We always run in an auto model selector mode.
Yes.
We call it intelligent model routing. So we invest a lot of time in building out a harness and building those adapters, and at the end of the day, they're prompts to provide a consistent experience across different models. And Bob, you can't actually see which model you're using under the hood. That is like we invest a lot of energy there, and as you can imagine, like it's not that easy to get like all those special characteristics that a model has, to get it to be as consistent as possible, so you can interchange the models as you need. And it's very interesting if you actually do that kind of stuff. I mean, if you look around our competition, they usually publish those models like that, like they just plug it in, and very often you find that they work potentially even worse in the same harness as like the model before, because they literally don't do any adjustments to their harness, because they just plug it in as soon as it comes out. And it's if you actually do very thorough evaluation of those models, it's pretty surprising that, like, surprisingly often, the new version of models are actually not better than like the generation before. We had, I can't tell you the exact details here, but we had that happen pretty often, that we actively decided against integrating a model simply because our evaluations showed that it's not as good as we expected it to be.
Okay.
So it's a lot. I mean, if you follow the hype cycle and you watch all the evaluations you find on Twitter, for example, it's always the same. Like, you got that insane hype, usually with the numbers that are provided by the model providers. And then it's like it goes very quick within a few days, and it kind of settles, and it's like, yeah, well, the vibes are not that great. And actually, if you run it on proper benchmarks, you see like, yeah, it's actually not that amazing. So kind of getting into German we say labern, just kind of rambling around here, but that's where we spend a lot of our time, and that is right. The original question was, what is different in Bob v2?
Right.
And
but because that's the same. Like the auto model selection is the same as in V1. I mean, I guess it's working differently. Yeah.
But exactly. We invested a lot more energy into it, and
all right,
we're plenty busy investing even more into this.
Okay, but we'll see the exact differences and see the exact features later on.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think everything is cleared up from my end. And we could go into the live coding, right?
Yeah.
And for that, I will put on my Bob helmet.
You really got yourself a Bob helmet. I love it. Let me take a screenshot of that. That is amazing. That is dedication. I don't have a helmet.
Yeah. I couldn't find a blue helmet. They are pretty rare, it turns out, here in Germany.
That's true. The only thing I have is a 3D printed one with a broken leg. So actually, you've got better Bob merch available right now than I do.
Nice.
I can take a sip out of my cup here.
Oh, okay. All right. You got me. Okay. So what I prepared is almost nothing. I created this public repository where we'll commit all the code that we write. Later on, if you are interested in what was produced, you can look that up. I downloaded IBM Bob. I installed it, and I already logged in actually, but I guess I have to log in again. But I have an account, so we'll have Bob coins.
We will have Bob coins.
Yeah. And I also installed the Bob CLI, which I wanted to mention mostly because I love that design. That is pretty
Good
cool.
Old 8-bar.
Yeah,
That's what you call it, the IBM logo is like that 8. It's actually 8 bars. So
okay, and that's the same like style, and I love that.
The 8-bar style.
Great.
Like I love it as well.
But you mentioned beforehand, so this shell is only available in version 1 right now. It will release later.
I don't have the exact date right now, but there will be the Bob Shell v2 available pretty soon. One of the big differences now is that Bob Shell and the Bob IDE actually use the same underlying agentic loop. That's another answer to your question from about 5 minutes ago. But I mean, obviously, that's something that happens very much under the hood. But in the future, you will be able to do exactly the same stuff you do in Bob ID, in the Bob shell, and vice versa. And there will be pretty cool features in terms of handoffs and how they can work together. But at this point, it's there's still a little bit of a difference. So I mean, we can totally work with Bob shell if you want. But at least right now, I do prefer the Bob IDE.
Yeah. Let's use the Bob IDE. I just wanted to show it mainly because of
it
that
looks
logo.
really good, right?
And we already got one small question. Is there a target market for Bob V2? I guess it won't be a generalist, right? And that's a really good question, I think.
That's kind of the core question.
Yeah.
And I mean, Bob V2, I mean, we do talk about V2 to a certain degree, but I guess it's Bob. It's just Bob. But like it's a major upgrade. So yes, the target market is generalists as well. I mean, you can go to the website. We've got a free tier, and we've got like competitive pricing. It's actually really easy to get started. I mean, if you've looked into IBM offerings in the past, they tend to be not as accessible as you would expect sometimes, but it's like a completely different game with Bob. We do appeal to the mass market as well, but obviously we do have a lot of expertise in like the specific IBM domains. We can look, actually that is a nice thing here. Premium package for Java. You've got there in the bottom right, Johannes. So that is one of the examples where we actually build specific domain knowledge into the generalist Bob coding agent. But the core idea is whatever we want to do on a more specific, more specialized edge, mainframe, IBM I are different examples for that. It all requires a cutting edge, really amazing AI coding assistant, because you can't, like in the past, we tried to build specialized tools for different domains. And that's just not how large language models work, or any AI, modern AI system. Like that is just not the nature of this technology. Like you need a really, really strong generalist foundation, and then you can put stuff on top of that. And that's kind of the idea.
And I mean, that's Visual Studio Code as a basis, right?
Right. That's like the very underlying IDE basis.
So this is a very open platform that is very extensible, I guess.
Yeah. True. And I mean,
okay.
then again, like there are a lot of like I mean, if you see Bob, like it's pretty easy to find your way around. I mean, that's just a different way of saying like they all look kind of similar. I mean, if you look at our competitors, if you look at Bob, like we all use the same ingredients at this point, and we all come up with dishes that are somewhat comparable. But then it's about the specialization that makes the difference.
But I guess that's the same like with any websites or something. A few people build really nice websites, and so many people get used to using this that it's getting adopted by more and more people, and then it's just a common sense in terms of usability. So everybody is used to that workflow, and I think it's the same with AI IDEs. So everybody is used to using those a certain way, like with the slashes and the skills, the agent MDs. That's important to have that kind of baseline.
Yeah, you can only deviate from the norm so far. Like you can come up with cool new ideas and do things a bit different, but if you go crazy, people will just simply be lost.
Yeah, right. So I think that's a good structure here. Do we want to install?
Just install that. I don't know if we're actually going to be using it a lot. And that already is connected pretty well to the question that we just had. This premium package for Java, it's a really cool concept, because the core idea is like it's mainly about Java modernization. I mean, core idea is there are so many companies where there's huge estates of Java applications. I mean, you're probably familiar with those kind of scenarios, Johannes. I'm not exactly sure like what you or what XDev specializes in, but like modernizing a huge and potentially pretty old Java estate, is that something you do?
Yeah. That's I would almost say that's our core business, to modernize older Java applications.
Okay. That'd be, maybe we can get to have a bit of a deeper look into that, and I'd be interested in your opinion. But the core idea is, if you get a lot of potentially kind of similar Java applications and you want to do a modernization on them, you don't just want to one-off them and like do that one and that one and that one, but you do want some reliability and repeatability. And that is exactly not what AI coding agents usually do. They find solutions, and they find creative solutions for different problems. And you do that to like 20 different Java services, you will find 20 different, like the AI coding agent of your choice will find 20 different ways of doing that migration, which will probably work at the end. But that is like a lot of entropy that you sprinkle over your estate. And the thing that we do with those premium packages, we have opinionated workflows where we combine existing tools, for example, those open rewrite recipes.
I just wanted to mention those. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah, we have them wired in a clever way where we do like the bulk of the modernization with open rewrite recipes.
Oh,
nice.
That's
like the base that we do.
Yeah.
And then it's like the tedious stuff where you actually gotta like see if you've got enough tests. Like, I mean, worst case, you do modernization on a code base that has like 0 test coverage. You're basically screwed. And doing that tedious work that you as a developer have to do in a code base that you've never seen before, and doing that in a lot more predictable way, because like the core path is predefined, but then all like the annoying stuff around it, that's where Bob then takes over with all the agentic AI capabilities. And if you combine those two worlds in an opinionated way, it just takes away a lot of the wildness and creativity, and it narrows down that funnel of possibilities a lot. Like, you will always have that Java modernization happen in a somewhat defined way. It will always produce a set of outputs, like some diagrams and stuff, and some reports that are repeatable and that are shareable, and
and deterministic.
It's a lot more deterministic than what you would get if you don't have that. I mean, at the end of it's still AI, right? I mean, there's a strong non-deterministic component to it, and that's kind of the magic of it. But it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So I wanted to say something about open rewrite, because I'm a big fan of that system. So it for once it's deterministic, and that's a great plus. So it builds a syntax tree. It analyzes all your code. It builds a syntax tree, and then it applies some recipes that you decide which you want to use. But they have like huge recipes, like I don't know, upgrading Spring versions or upgrading Java versions from like Java X to Jakarta. That's kind of stuff that was really annoying. They all implemented that, and these are recipes that are publicly available. Like I said, they are repeatable. And another thing, they are really, I'm not sure what the English word is, but it's very conservative. So if they do a change, you can be almost sure that it still works, because otherwise it wouldn't make that change if it's not sure. And that's amazing. So that's a really good starting point for modernizing the application.
Okay, cool.
And
so how have you been doing it so far? So when you haven't worked with a premium package for Java yet, right?
Yeah, I haven't worked with Bob.
You haven't worked with Bob. Okay. So how would you, I mean, obviously there are restrictions depending on which client you're working with. Like you can't use all the tools that you would like to use. But I mean, if you would be like put in a situation with, I don't know, a dozen different Java applications and you can choose the tools that you want, no restrictions at all, how would you do it?
Well, open rewrite. That's like was our first step towards it. And then we just had to do manual labor, manual coding, look at things. Most of the time, they want to modernize the UI as well. So from a Swing GUI or JavaFX GUI back into the web with, mostly we do it with Vardin. That's kind of like our other specialty.
Yeah, that's actually another one of the workflows that we support in that premium package is a UI modernization.
All right.
So that's also like, I mean, we probably won't be able to look into that very much right now with this. Like we would actually have to deliberately build an outdated Java application.
And who wants to do that?
Yeah. I tried to do that for demo purposes. It doesn't even work very well. Yeah, but like that's good stuff. I mean, unfortunately, that's always like there's so much awesomeness and flashy stuff you can like. This live coding demo will be about great new mainstream stuff that is fun to build and it's like it gets your endorphin going. But that's like not the like. There are very few people who make their living building a new habit tracker every other day.
Yes.
So a lot of the tutorials, well, I mean, there are more than you might think, probably if you look at the like app stores of these days. But that's like a big, not a problem, but like all the fun stuff you can show is very far away from what people actually do in the real world and what people actually like make their money with. And with those premium packages, that's exactly the thing. Like what we're doing right now actually showcases that a lot. We will be showing this cool new build a new shiny prototype thing, while kind of like not showing that more boring, probably like way more value creating Java modernization stuff.
I mean, if we have the time, maybe we can just create that demo and then see what we would like to change. Like instead of modernization, we just want, I defined the Thymeleaf UI as what we want to do for the habit tracker today. So we could try to switch to Vardin from that. Maybe that would be something that is more practical. And like you said, not as flashy, but more on par with reality, really, because reality most of the time is not a greenfield project that you can vibe code in a few hours. No, it's these projects that nobody wants to have, but they are running, they have a lot of users, and now it's time to modernize or to add some security layers, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, totally. But I guess we should get started, right?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I did now log in, so we should be able, to prompt away.
Yeah, that looks good. So let me see. I think you did send me an invite, right? I didn't like maybe
yes, to the
actually, to my private. Yeah, I didn't get the invite, but maybe we can take a look later. But yeah, you
one second. I'll send you your email address in the private chat. So hopefully that's
you forgot an I. Yep, you forgot an I. You spelled a Maximilian.
Yeah. All right. But there is this.
If there's a Maximilian, you will have invited him to that repo, but probably not a big issue since, from what I understand, it will be open source anyway.
Right. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah. Now I see your picture as well. So
that's good. Okay, so you created an amazing prompt here.
Yeah, that's just a little vision I had. I wanted to use, but we can start however you see fit, whatever you see as a good starting point.
Yeah. So the very first starting point would definitely be to create a plan, like for sure. So the best way to do it is like there's a mode where you have that agent thing. You can click there and then go to that plan mode. And that will, I mean, you probably won't even have to prompt Bob to create a plan. Actually, you can fire that off and see what happens. I mean,
all right. Yeah. And the one thing I am missing is selecting the model. That's what you usually have as well. But this is auto-defined now.
Yeah, true. And I mean, it feels good to choose the model.
Yeah.
You can you hover over permissions real quick?
Yeah.
You can click all of those. I mean, we're just vibe coding at that point.
Right. But I like that it's very detailed.
Yeah, it's very explicit. It's very explicit, and you can also define them via a regex. So actually what we're seeing here, that's actually pretty neat. Okay, this is actually, do you have stuff in that? Oh, Greenfield project. Okay, gotcha. Because it actually spawned a sub agent and looked for files in that repo. Probably didn't find any. So yeah, we have a question. Which build tool in Java? Yeah, not a question in the chat, a question from Bob.
Okay.
Got a question from Bob, and Bob's asked us what we want to use. Your choice, Johannes. I already admitted that the last time I wrote somewhat production-ready Java code was 6 years ago. So
all right. So we should use Java 8 or something like that.
That puts me on the spot here, right? It kind of means that I should be able to do that. So you've got to tune your Java dev here on the stream with you. Right?
All right. Now let's use at least the latest version that it's suggesting.
Sounds good.
And Maven is my favorite tool. I'm not that familiar with Gradle, unfortunately. Okay. Database.
H2 in file mode should be fine, right?
Yeah.
So, and keep it simple, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
The CSS. I don't care.
Bootstrap 5. I worked with that some long time ago.
Okay, so you know more about this than me. Yeah, please. JPA is good.
That sounds good as well. So yeah, you get a lot of those questions, right? I mean, obviously, those are very basic questions, but
I like this.
There we see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And that is one of the I am very much an IDE guy, and that's just a nice thing when you got a nice visual-based chat interface. Bob is able to display those things right within your chat.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool, because that's what I usually do as well. If I am in plan mode, I like to write down the plan in a file and also 100%. Use these mermaid. I guess that's mermaid or plant UML diagrams.
Yeah, you can actually download them. They're just mermaid.
There's
a download button here.
Right.
Or save
image.
It's actually rendered as a PNG, but
copy probably does.
Yeah, but they're mermaid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay. But these diagrams help so much with understanding the system. So for me, they are really important. Just to get, like it said, a design overview. Just what components are in there, how do they interact? That helps so much. And also the core domain. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and you already mentioned like the most important thing that I try to convey every time somebody listens to me, and that is to save your plans as a file. Like Bob is very much tailored to that anyway. So most of the time, Bob will save it as a file, but don't ever rely on stuff that you have in your conversation. That stuff is gonna go away. Like it's so easy to produce code these days that the reasoning behind that code is more important than ever. So planning documents have always been important. It's always been important to kind of define what you want to build. But these days, where the code is so cheap, it's even more important than it ever was before. So write it to a file and then iterate the heck out of that. And that's like the tedious part. So
yeah,
I guess let's do that. Oh, actually, there it is. Looks good. Write the plan as described.
Okay, so if it's writing the plans, it will create a file probably.
It should, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So we have Asturias from northern Spain. Hi.
Oh, northern Spain. Hello there.
Okay.
The one thing that Bob is very keen to do now is create HTML files. Have you been looking into that, Johannes? Creating HTML files for like your artifacts?
No, actually not.
Actually, really
but
cool.
I think I heard about that, and also SVG files, where I thought that's really, really strange.
Yeah, SVG. That's kind of like an ongoing. Do people really use that for productive things?
Yeah,
like there's this draw a pelican on a bike thing that used to be really popular like half a year ago.
All right.
Where like you could really see.
I know that AI was really bad at creating SVGs. So anytime I wanted to, because I thought it's really cool, because it's not a lot of code for it to write a whole picture. So you would save tokens, but it never worked for me. But apparently it does now. I didn't even try it yet.
I've heard that you can like kind of trick the billing system that way when you throw screenshots in. It can consume less tokens.
Yeah, if you have that screenshot full with text, right?
Yeah. You're kind of tricking the API there.
Such a strange trick.
Yeah. So in this case, Bob did not create an HTML file. Like
an MD. Okay.
It's a markdown file. Actually, like while we look at that, you can ask Bob pretty quick create an HTML file for that. Will take a moment. Like Bob is pretty keen on doing that because we integrated this as a native tool, which is pretty neat. I was expecting it to do that because it took a moment. Like HTML files are obviously more verbose, but it's just really nice. Like they're just way nicer to read. And I like to do that when I came up with a plan that I'm happy with and I actually want to share it with colleagues. I usually do that as an HTML file. And
okay.
we use Slack internally. So Slack just natively renders this HTML file. If I produce any output I want to share with Bob, I usually just do it as an HTML file.
Yeah.
And obviously Markdown is easier to iterate on because it's like, well, only text.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what improves if you have a HTML file, because I imagine it to be quite boring, and maybe there are some more
we could take a look. Like it's I mean, potentially Bob could create it, but it's probably just better. Usually it's just better structured, get some color to it, and like diagrams, tables look nicer. Like
okay,
not a different, like not a game changer, but it's just a really nice, convenient feature. Right. So yeah, we've got a plan. So I'm the junior dev now. Johannes, you are the senior. Please read the plan and tell me if it's good.
All right, let's see. Top level overview. So we have Spring 3.3, Java 21. We defined all of this actually. Subtasks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's structured in different subtasks that it will create. This I like. Okay.
Yeah, looks, but I mean,
okay.
we already see
then,
the problem here, right? I mean, we can always, for any greenfield project, I mean, for this vibe coding approach that we're doing here, it's a clear, looks good to me, right? Looks good to me, go for it.
yeah.
But in any halfway decent real world application, it's like you really need to understand that document. Like,
Yeah.
Not necessarily every single line, but at least you definitely have to know the outline of what is happening. And yeah, it's a big task. Like there's a lot of stuff that's happening here.
Yeah, it is pretty verbose, I would say. Like the scaffolding, it defines the POM XML application properties. That's almost like default for Maven. So yeah, I don't know if I would need that stuff.
True. Composite Maven package. Potentially, yeah. I mean,
but that's always like a very small path, right? If you go too much to the right, you have too much text, and to the left, you have not enough for the AI.
The other big problem is that it might be obvious to you in the way that you work at the tech stack that
you're that's true.
Familiar with. Looking at the great scheme of things, it might not be as obvious. But I want to show you. We have a chat here, right? I can just send you stuff. Okay, this is our private chat. We can install a skill here, which would be the next thing I would usually do, and that one is like very popular. You can just if you execute that, it will take you to a nice little dialog. You have a terminal in here that will install this skill. It's that grill me skill.
Oh yeah. You know that one? Oh yeah, I know it. It felt like
these days.
Yeah, but the planning mode almost felt like it, but it stopped earlier than the grill me skill that takes a really long time.
Yeah, and that one might take it. We would just like might want to skip it eventually and just take a quick look. And actually, if you look here, like that is skills SH. So that's from Vercel. They've got this, and actually IBM Bob is in that list here, so you can choose it. But that's kind of an important thing. You don't have to. I mean, that's another difference from V1 to V2. In V1, we've still been very opinionated about where stuff needs to go. At this point, we follow pretty much all the industry standards.
Yeah.
So you can just have your agents.md file. You can have the skills in different places. You can also install the find skills skill if that is.
All right.
All right. Why not? That's why it's like one of the most installed skills ever. Because they just make everyone install it that uses skills.sh. So actually, the HTML is done. If you look there on the right.
All right. I just wanted to add to this grill me skill because actually in my last session I mentioned that I'm sometimes annoyed with these questions because you have to answer them question by question, right? You can't bulk these questions and then just write 1 is the answer this, 2 the answer is this, and so forth. But now Matt, the creator here, he created a skill that's grill me batch. So it's grilling you with a lot of questions at once.
Okay, that is interesting. Actually, we can try to recreate that. Because like another thing I like to do, and I like to show people just how easy it is to create your own skills. So the way it's set up, really, like it's just the .agents folder, right? I mean, if you look in the right,
I
just straight in there, like.
and That's crazy. That's a really small skill.
Run a grilling session. Okay, that is. Can you look at that agents OpenAI YAML real quick?
Yeah, I think actually the skill is the grilling skill, because I was mixed up with that as well. So can we just say grilling here?
Yeah, that's okay. That's weird how this is handled. And I think he changed that. Like, I remember that that now you need like 2 things. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the one, right?
It's an evolving space, right?
Yeah,
and that is one of the reasons why I think for the foreseeable future, it's a very good idea to create your own skills. Because I mean, that is like I said, you just install something from a person that you know, and you know the name of the person, you know the skill, but still you get something where you're like, huh? That's not what I wanted. That like this could be. I mean, everything you put in a skill is executed with agent permissions. So it's pretty. I mean, if you think about it, the stuff that we let our agents do these days, if you think back like 3 years ago, this would have been absolutely like, it's unbelievable how much risk we take.
Yeah.
With those agents, like this skill could be anything.
Yeah,
like it could post whatever you have, like wherever.
So I had this thought today as well about versioning skills. And there is this skill jars. I did not look into this. It's by James Ward. But the idea is as well that you treat skills as a dependency and you version it. So you can be sure that if you have that version of the skill here, it never changes. And I think that's a good idea in general.
Yeah, it really is, and that's actually a great example for that.
Yeah,
I mean, the other thing you can do, actually, we can do that like right now. And you mentioned that there already is this version of the Grill Me skill that you like better, but we can try to reproduce that. If you could open up a new conversation, it's the plus icon there. Yes, just a new task.
Do we maybe want to see the HTML? Or
yes,
no,
let's do that. That's true.
Yeah,
yeah. Context switching is hell these days, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean with it looks better.
Nice. It's nice. I mean,
absolutely.
Sure, it's got the same information, but GM badges.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So these are the badges that it would give you as a user if you keep on doing some kind of habit.
Yeah. I mean,
roadmap. Yeah.
Okay, it's been going pretty far into the implementation details at this point.
Yeah.
And the actual business logic.
Okay, but I completely understand your point now that this is much nicer and you actually get a lot more information out of it.
It's just so much easier to skim through it. And usually it's pretty it's usually a very faithful translation from the Markdown to the HTML. So whenever you want to make sure that, I don't know, some program manager actually takes a look at what you propose, that increases the chances substantially.
Yeah. But it is true what you said, and it's very technical. So usually, if I go about this, the specification and the PRD, it's not mentioning any technology, or at least it tries to. But this one, I mean, we did mention Spring and Thymeleaf in the definition. So maybe that was one reason why it's so technical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. It's also a bit made with IBM Bob. Yeah.
That's fun. Okay, so you that means you have your own skill in there somewhere. That that's created this.
But I mean, it's also a bit too technical for my liking. And the easiest way to address that is just put it in the agentsmd. to tell Bob to be less technical. Like you can just create an
Okay.
HSMD file if you want. But I mean, you can. It will be used just like I mean, it's an industry standard by now, right? So
Yep.
you could add a line like, if you create a planning document, try avoiding mentioning technologies and avoid writing any pseudocode, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's always the same thing. Like the customization is key. Like in some people, some teams might like it that way, but I agree with you. For me, that would also be like already too specific. And you can also create your own planning skill if you like. If you've got your own ideas about how you prefer your planning session to go. Okay, but you've seen that HTML file, which is like really neat, and like it's so much things that just look so much better as an HTML file. But yeah, I had that idea that we can create our own custom skill really quick.
Yes. All right. Let's do that.
That generally is a very good idea. And believe it or not, we've got a skill to create skills. Of course. So if you do / create skill, what skill creator? Yeah, create skill. Just enter. That explicitly calls that skill. I mean, you can always like explicitly call skills or have them called implicitly. It would be the same thing. But here you can say something like, I want a version of the grill me skill that asks me questions in batch so I can answer them all at once.
Questions.
It's the worst thing when somebody watches you type, right?
Yeah. Right. I mentioned the grilling skill because that's now the one that's...
Yeah, I would probably look up both and probably get it right. Yeah, you can fire that off. So I got into that quite a lot. I just create my own skills because there's so much. I don't want to call it garbage, but at this point, there's basically no mechanism to really evaluate skills, and you kind of have to trust the person who builds them to actually have put real thought into it. And so much of it is like so full of nonsense. Although those no-op things like be really thorough, make no mistakes, and it's amazing if you look, even if you look at skills at age and look at the most popular skills, so many of them you could like skim them down to a quarter of their length or even less.
Yeah, I think so too. That they are much too long.
Yeah, so I find it to be the best thing to write a lot of my skills myself, get inspiration from the stuff I find online, and then create my own stuff. And it also avoids me like completely overpopulating my skills repo. Helps me kind of be deliberate about the kind of skills that I want to have in my repo or in my global settings.
Yeah, so when do you add a skill to the repo, and when do you add it to your public global directory? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, there's on your like technically on in your user directory, there's also a .bob folder where you have stuff that is going to be available for you as a user globally. That's a very good question, and there's not a clear answer yet. I like to keep stuff in the repo a lot because I want to share it and I want to have all the people working on that repo use the same skills. But then again, it does drift pretty quickly if you're working on similar projects and it does become a mess kind of quick. So I do jump back and forth. I mean, you can work with symlinks and stuff. It kind of makes it easier, but there's not a clear answer to that yet. I mean, one of the things that we will ship with Bob in Q4, I think, is actually I'm not exactly sure when we will ship it, but we are working on a way more sophisticated marketplace, because like the way it's done right now is great for having a very vibrant ecosystem. Like it's a free for all right now. We're exploring a few really cool ideas on how you can share skills and like rank them and do a bit of evaluation. Like there's a big gap right now for somebody providing at least a localized marketplace. I mean, maybe eventually we will have like a global standard for marketplace, like a GitHub for skills or something. I don't know how it could look like. But at least that you have something where you can work with your teams or within your organization and share feedback about skills, about modes, about rules. There are some really great ideas there, and we will have some really interesting stuff about that. At that point,
that's something I think is really useful as well, because until we are at that point where we have that sort of like Maven Central, do you know this for Java, where you have all your dependencies? Until we have that for skills, I think it might take some time. And then you also have to have some kind of like industry defaults for skills, like skills that everybody uses. Like this grilling skill, I think is pretty close to industry standard by now, because everybody is using it. But until then, I think what you really need is like a team repository where, or company-wide repository where you keep all your skills and everybody knows what's inside there and uses those skills. Because if you have to look into every skills folder in every repository that you work on, it's pretty tedious and you can't remember what skills are where and when to use it.
Totally.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to those technologies from you.
Actually, I've got a few more things to say about that, but maybe let's just do answer some questions here from Bob, so Bob can stay busy. All right, the skill just confirm these 3 choices. Grill me on a it's the same name, right? We want it to be a different name.
Yeah, auto invocation. No, we wanted yes, but use a different name or location, right?
Yeah. Or you could also just type something freeform. Grill badge. Actually, grill badge sounds good. Auto invoked. Yeah, you can have it auto invoked. I mean, just that, I guess.
That's it.
Okay, so the thing I wanted to say is I used to work for. Oh, okay, you gotta approve that really quick. It wants to write a file in a protected folder.
Okay.
I used to work for automotive, for Audi, and I mean, back in those days, if you actually worked internally, like I've been in the subsidiary, it's complicated. The way that the automotive industry does business with subsidiaries and stuff. But if you work for Audi internally, like you literally did not have access to PyPy. Like they had their own mirror of it that was way outdated, and they scanned every single thing that was in their like Audi PyPy repo. And they were, what I'm trying to say is they were super stringent about what you're allowed to use and whatnot. So if you're not working in a large and somewhat conservative company, it's hard to imagine the amount of restrictions that you have to deal with.
Oh yeah.
And like that is one of those things that is just simply unimaginable for many large companies. And I mean, don't even get me started on MCP servers. Like those things are just they're just wild. I mean, it's like they can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, they can. Yeah, but they are pretty cool. I just recently got into those a little bit, and played around with a Bender MCP server, which was I was pretty disappointed by that because it couldn't really create anything useful for me.
Bender
but
or
also Blender, the 3D.
Yeah, Blender, the 3D thing.
Yeah. The open source 3D animation.
Just Google that. Just MCP.
Yeah, Bender is the robot from Futurama, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's also pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, Blender being like a whole universe of its own.
Yeah. But that's what I thought. Well, that's great if AI can do the 3D animation because I can't.
Yeah,
but it
then at the end of the day,
that.
that's one of those situations where it's like tokens in, tokens out. That's kind of what you have to remind yourself every once in a while. Like at the end of the day, it goes to a large language model. Sure, it can deal with images to a certain degree, but it's going to be tokens in, tokens out. And if the problem you're trying to solve cannot be formalized with tokens very efficiently, then it's probably not going to work very well.
Yeah.
And 3D modeling is very, very hard to express in tokens.
But I mean, they got the image generation pretty much down. I think that's amazing what you can do with image generation.
True. And I mean, the models are somewhat multimodal at that point, but still, I view them as two different people that you're talking to. One person that's blind but like hyper intelligent and like hyper knowledgeable, that is like that, and then there's another person potentially in the same model which is like dumb as a rock but is like an amazing drawer and can interpret images amazingly well. And this is like an oversimplification and it might merge together more in the future, but that model still holds decently well for me. And anything that really works well on a like professional level is based on text. But I'm looking forward to have my mind changed on that.
But you're probably absolutely right that this model that I used was I don't know, some Claude model. I think I even used Opus because I was really eager for it to work. But that's a coding model and it doesn't see very well. It might see like browser stuff, but it probably can't really see the 3D objects really well, but it's not optimized for that, right? Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're all just reproduction machines, like incredibly sophisticated reproduction machines. But if you work in the visual realm, this becomes obvious quicker than in the text realm. I mean, we are just built a house here, so we're working a lot in the garden right now. That's where I spend a lot of my free time. And we do a lot of like garden planning with ChatGPT, and it becomes painfully obvious that the amount of spatial awareness is very limited.
Okay.
Gotta try it. Or interior planning is like if you tell it to add some stairs there, like change those flowers. Like, I mean, this is like way off topic for what we're doing right now. But it becomes pretty obvious pretty quick that a lot of the flashiness of image generation models is just that flashiness. Like it's not much substance behind it yet.
Because it's such a general model, right? It's not that specialized in one thing. It's trying to do everything and then if you are specifically into one topic, it fails.
And it just reproduces what it has seen. That's kind of the gist of it. Anything text-based, that's true as well. But there's a whole lot of text out in the internet, and there's a whole lot of text that has been created by the frontier labs with a lot of data and expertise and money. So
Yeah.
there's just a lot of the world represented in text at this point. But I don't know. That's like a whole different rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to coding. So it has written a skill.
We did create something, right?
Yeah.
So in the original.
Let's see.
Is it
Grill
only-
batch.
Grill batch?
Here we go. I would like to have that. The line break. Where is that?
Word wrap? It's option
Word
set.
wrap. What is it?
And just, are you on a Mac?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
God, no.
I just switched 6 months ago, and
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, it's painful. It's painful, and I also switched to an iPhone, so it's like
Okay.
with a Bob sticker, but it didn't come with a Bob sticker. Yeah, it's painful.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay, I didn't expect that. Usually, Mac users are really into it, especially after they switch, because
it's amazing for video editing. Gotta say that.
Okay.
The power in this machine is amazing, but the usability is like, I don't know who came up with this. I don't know. Again, different topic.
Yeah, grill batch mode. Okay, interview me relentlessly. That was the basic thing of the other grilling thing. Ask all your questions at once in a single numbered list.
But that looks pretty good to me. I mean, it's still very short. I think it uses a lot of the same wording, but looks like it should do what we wanted to do.
But that's something I also thought of, because you can't answer all the questions at once, because your answers will create new questions. But it already thought of that, so that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. So kind of core message here is like, just create your own skills. If you don't, you have to restart. You have to create a new conversation.
Oh yeah. So
grill batch.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do that. Grill batch on. Just type on and then add habit tracker plan. Yeah. I mean, you can reference files with an add, but that's fine.
No. We don't have too much of those yet.
Yeah, totally. So that will probably create a pretty long list of stuff that might be too much for us to answer at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't really ask questions yet. Those are just facts, I think.
That's true.
No, there was one question. No. Okay, these are questions. Okay.
I mean, you get what you ask for, right? A wall of questions. That's how you wanted it.
Yeah, but in theory, I could read through those and then just
but I mean, then again, like it's the same thing. Like if that's too much questions, change the skill. Change the skill to, I don't know, like the way I would do it is like create a long list of questions, then pick the most important ones and ask me 3 at once or something.
Yeah,
that might be a good approach, maybe.
Yeah,
but I mean, you don't need to figure this out now, obviously, because like this will be.
I think the bottom line that you just mentioned was create your own skills. And I think that's a really good thing that I did not do yet too much. I did create some skills, but not too many. And I think I'm too accustomed to just copy and paste or retyping the same thing again, right? But if you typing one command 2 times, you can already create a skill, and then you might not need that anymore. And then you can enhance the skill as well. So that's a good.
Yeah, and it can be pretty, like, this is obviously very, very simple, but it can be pretty magical if you get into that mindset, actually think about what you do every day, like the way you interact with different systems, the way you, I don't know. I mean, it's probably difficult for you because you work with a lot of clients that have their own restrictions. So it's probably very different depending on which project you're working in at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But like the way you get your issues, the way you get your tickets, the way you report stuff, the way you communicate, like the amount of connections, and like all those primitives are combinable. I mean, everything you can do with an MCP server, you can actually describe the way you want to interact with Slack, the way you want to, I don't know, get information, put information out. You can all describe that in a skill and do that in a repeatable way throughout your team. So there's just, it's so amazing how much stuff you can do in a skill. And for example, I do a lot of our YouTube channel stuff, and like, obviously gotta run some numbers there and make sure that we are on a good track. And you can create a script for that, and that's fine. And that is definitely way more efficient, and put it on a cron job, and then it just gets the data from the APIs, and that's fine. But I can also just put it in a Markdown file and put it in a skill and tell Bob to do it. Then, I mean, sure, it's a bit wasteful. Sure, I use a large language model to do something repeatedly, but still, you can do a lot of surprisingly complex stuff, actual automations powered by large language models. Yes, it's wasteful, but for small stuff, that is, it's amazing how well it works.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely new paradigm. Just actually, like, at this point, there's actually a really good do you know Theo T3, that YouTuber guy?
Yep.
He gave a great keynote at the AI Engineer Summit.
All right.
I can send it to you later.
Sure.
Like, it's really easy to find on YouTube. And he's been talking about exactly that. I mean, at this point, like pretty much right now, at this point, it was always clear that like code is the bottom artifact, but we're getting to the point that we don't actually even need the code that much anymore. And we can do a lot of automations and stuff really plain in Markdown, and just have the model do it and create the code snippets on the fly. Like, it's mind blowing, and all of that within less than a year.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
The development there is crazy. Indeed.
It's mind-boggling. So yeah, we've got a lot of. You wanted a lot of batch questions. I've got your batch questions here.
Yeah, let's just leave those questions out. For the sake of finishing that application, I would like to finish it at some point.
Yeah.
So we got the plan. We read through all of it. All of it is perfect.
All of it is perfect, and we absolutely agree on every single point.
Right. So what we want to do is to implement it.
Yeah. Let's just shoot it off. And I mean, yeah, you're doing the very right thing. Just create you can just say in that agent mode, create a new task whenever possible. And I mean, I just implement, create
should I write that it's
just write implement and implement the habit tracker, or implement add habit tracker plan, or whatever like it's.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. I thought I should type in always create a new task, but you meant always create a new session, I guess. No, yes, it's a task.
I was talking to the human at this point, actually.
Yes.
I know, it's like, I mean, it's way past my bedtime, actually. So whoever's watching me, usually I'm like 10 IQ points smarter than I am right now.
Okay.
So yeah, implement the habit tracker and just go for it.
All right.
And mostly when you have to do any, or we could just shoot it off and see, like, this will run for some time. Whenever you got to do any fancy prompting in your conversation, oh yeah, they've got a nice list of subtasks.
Yeah, it's basically here as well. So like,
yeah.
It already had the structure.
Yeah, true. It's just like, yeah, you can do that as well. Then it will be approved for all interactions in this task.
Yes. Okay.
So one thing we can also look into is, you've seen that nice little number there on the top right, that blue thing. It's what we call Bob coins. So that's the way our billing works. in Bob. So I mean, you should approve that. We might need to do a bit. Yeah, exactly. You did not. Can you hover over the permissions really quick? Yeah, you might want to actually click all of those things. Like because we're in the agent, we're in the agent mode now.
Yeah, okay.
For the plan mode.
Right. Okay. I thought I have to do that for every task. No, it's just
no.
Depending on the
it
mode.
Will be right. If you do it again, it will also like we start off conservative.
Yeah.
I gotta do that once.
Oh, okay. If we are on the topic of permissions, so what I really enjoy is Docker sandboxes. It's basically a little engine where you can put various different agents into a sandbox. That means into a micro VM, and it can actually cannot access your normal file system, your local file system. And you can also regulate what it can do in terms of network connectivity. Is there something like this implemented in Bob? Because I saw it in various different AI agents or harnesses that you can actually activate sandbox mode, and then it's running in a sandbox in this application.
Yes, sandbox used to mean a lot of different things over the evolution of AI agents.
Yeah.
At this point, you gotta wire it up yourself. We're exploring options how to do this properly, and come up with a really good way of doing this. And you could totally set it up yourself if you want. But right now we don't have like a toggle where you can turn it on. But quite likely that we have something like that, a bit different in the future. So yeah, those also about dev containers, also a really awesome thing. And we are looking into having native support for that. At this point, it's kind of something you have to wire up yourself.
Yeah, okay. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to know, because sometimes these settings are a bit hidden or something.
Yeah,
but what I really enjoy, and I like this with Bob version 1 as well, is this to-do list. This is really nice because you get a really nice overview over what is done and what isn't. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in the plan MD file, it will change what's done.
Did it already? Subtask 1? Not yet. I think it does it at the end.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty neat if we would do it like on the fly. Could probably probably be something. Could even add like as an explicit behavior to make sure that Bob does that after every subtask. That would actually be pretty neat.
I think it wouldn't not just only be neat for the user who watches this whole process, but for example, if I need to go away, I need to shut down the PC, or I don't know, it crashes, then the agent knows where it stopped, because then it says, okay, this task is done, this one is pending, so on and so forth. And this way, like you said before, now it's only in the task, in the session, and if that's gone, well, the progress is gone, basically.
Yeah, true. It would actually be a really good thing to actually. I might want to discuss that with the product team, if we can make sure that this happens reliably. And that conversation is tracked as a file in your user directory. So even if everything crashes, that conversation is not going to be gone.
Okay.
But having an explicit document where the status is also readable to you and for any other agent to pick up, that would actually be very advantageous. So okay, to approve that.
Yeah.
One other thing we can take a look at, I mean, I just already mentioned those Bob coins. So that's kind of the way we do our billing. We get different tiers of models, and it all gets calculated into that one metric, which are the Bob coins. So we don't have like any daily, weekly, monthly limits that get kind of obscure. If you go to the settings on the top, like right, if you go there, you can see your usage there. I mean, this is a little bit risky because we are we just onboarded you on one of our enterprise plans. It's just the easiest way to get you some Bob coins.
Right.
So, but if you click View Bobalytics, let's try if it works.
There's
next to your usage, there's a link a little bit down.
Oh yeah,
right.
Bob.
Bobalytics. We're really leaning into the Bob theme. We go hard on that.
Okay. Let me just log in really quick.
No mercy, like everything's Bob.
Yeah, that's great.
Actually, while you're at it, you might want to approve that tool that is waiting.
Let's go. Okay, so this is...
Okay, that's nice. There you can also create your API keys and stuff, which is pretty nice. Let's see if you have... Yeah, this might be lagging, actually. General testing team. Yeah, this is probably because you're on this internal plan. What you would usually see here is like the amount of Bob coins that you've spent, what repo you've spent it on, how much you committed to each repo, and it's not only for you. Yeah, I told you, we lean into that hard.
Okay.
Everything's Bob.
Okay, yeah. So percentage of committed code assisted by Bob. Okay.
Yeah, so the idea is not that much that you as an individual can take a look at it, but it's a lot about how the adoption is within your team, within different teams, comparing different teams. Obviously, you cannot see any other people by their clear name. Like that's not how we set this up. But you can see different teams, how much they use AI, how much they actually, how much code, how much pull requests, how much actually gets into production. There's a lot of stuff there. We can't really look into it right now. But that is something that is very interesting for enterprise clients. That's always, I mean, we've got that question at the very beginning. So we do have to make that distinction to a certain degree that right now there's a lot of focus on individual developers, but a lot of it, the challenges in enterprises are substantially different, particularly now that like we will be in a world where AI cost will be a substantial factor for any enterprise. And the way we use AI for our work will change substantially, particularly when you're at the point that we'll actually, like, we see that at some points already where you actually individuals can spend more money in tokens than the actual salary is. And those are extreme cases for sure. But
yeah,
like if you look at the line, the amount of money that a developer spends on AI, it's still exponential. And no way to tell where this will go.
Yeah, and it's not going to be less at any time soon. Yeah.
What's the Chevron's paradox? You familiar with that? That thing, like if the price of something goes down, the usage goes up, so the whole total amount spent on it goes up exponentially for some time. Coal being the one big example in history, or electricity. You start off with like having one light bulb in your room, and that's the amount of electricity that one person uses.
But it's pretty fun because it's actually the other way around, right? Everybody threw AI out really cheap for everybody to use, for everybody to get hooked on. And now that so many people are using it, they actually want return of investment, right? And they are actually just increasing the prices So it's getting more and more expensive. But if I'm talking about that just now, last session I coded 2 hours with Ryan, and we blew through 40 Bob coins easily. So and this time it looks much better. It doesn't look like it's as hungry as before.
Yeah, we also changed that formula a little bit. Like you used it very close after GA. We adjusted that formula so it's not as hungry anymore. But we also improved that harness quite a bit. But to your point before, yes, we added capitalism to that equation, like big time, and like the speed at which this whole motion is going, it's unbelievable. But still, back of the napkin math, I prepared that for some talk like a few months ago. Like the amount of token, like the cost per token for a comparable level of intelligence went down like 2 orders of magnitudes within 1 year. Like tokens went cheaper for the same level of intelligence.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, which is that the whole Jeffrey's paradox, like in extreme, is the additional amount of intelligence enables those systems to run so much longer, being like the big thing with Fable 5 now. It's not like it's particularly that much more intelligent, but it's able to orchestrate a lot better and therefore run in way, way, way longer loops, and therefore use so much more tokens than like was ever conceivable before.
All right.
And I started in this large language model thing like 4 years ago. I literally got my OpenAI account when they just released GPT-3. I actually want to get that email framed because it's pretty cool, because I was like,
you should.
Early bird.
Yeah, that's cool.
So back then you did your prompt engineering yourself. You put in one sentence and you got out, I don't know, 100 tokens, 200, 500 tokens of like, and you did a lot of prompt engineering to get something decent out, but you triggered every prompt yourself. And now, I mean, what happened here, like this is mind-blowingly huge conversation compared to what you were able to do 2 years ago.
Yes.
Our few tokens that we put in there, they triggered a cascade of model calls that would have been like the amount of tokens that we consumed here was barely possible to even consume in any reasonable way 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's kind of and
point.
It moves so quickly. I mean, in a year from now, it's hard to imagine what we will be able to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's kind of the state of mind we're all in right now. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Before we continue, we have another question, and that's actually really good. About the sandbox, have you had some problems before to reach that decision, or just a natural conservative approach? There are downs with using a sandbox. Yes, absolutely. So for me, I am German, so I'm naturally very conservative with all things security. So I did not have any incident or something that prompted this, but I mean, you read about those things, like somebody added some prompt into a library and then got a lot of backlash because some AI agents read that and then did something really bad. I don't know. I don't even remember what they did, but they erased some files or something like this. So that is that mindset behind it, that this cannot happen, especially on work. But using a sandbox has a lot of downsides as well. For instance, all those tools that you have locally installed, it cannot use those because it's in a sandbox. It's not supposed to use those tools. And what I really like to do is use IntelliJ. That's one of my favorite IDEs without AI. That's what I use day to day. And it has a built-in MCP server. But this cannot be accessed through the sandbox that easily, at least. So yeah, there are downsides. I don't know, Mox, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, and I mean, the upside to the downside, obviously, is that you are a lot more explicit in the kind of tools that you make available. And just like with any sort of containerization, you've got a clear separation of tools and concerns. Like you always start fresh, and you've got a good overview of what kind of stuff you load into your sandbox. But yeah, it does come with some things that make your life more complicated. But then again, I've seen quite a bunch of companies that have that as a best practice to run anything you do in a sandbox or a dev container or something like that. So yeah, it's a big mix of trade-offs. But I also have not really, I'm not aware of any of those horror scenarios where it's just like an agent going completely rogue and like doing stuff that is, I mean, Bob here is only able to do stuff within the context that you opened it in. So you can just do changes in the Bob's habit tracker. So no danger of like RMRF like on your system. But yeah, you're a Windows guy, right? That thing doesn't even exist. But, so I don't know how much people want it, so we will deliver that, but I personally don't use it much.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, privately, I use obviously all the other competitive services as well, because I do have to know what they're actually capable of. And honestly, I never really used it.
The sandbox feature.
Sandbox,
yeah. Okay. All right. Let's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's look at the. I mean, let's actually make some progress here. Otherwise, this will be a pretty lame live coding session if we end up with nothing.
Yeah, that's true. So let's use the built-in browser, and it looks amazing. What's the CSS? To run. We have to run
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's do that. Okay, there's stuff happening.
Yep, but that's all normal. That's good. That's not good.
That's not good.
All right.
Did it fully start before you?
Yeah. It should have started. Oh.
I mean, you can just tell Bob to take a look at the terminal.
Yes, that's what.
Take a look and use. But it might be. I don't know if it's necessary, but if you use like actual add, like the add symbol.
Yeah. For what?
And then you can use terminal. I'm not sure if it might be necessary to actually give that permission. Not sure.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, what else is there? Git and problems.
Yep.
So yeah, so there are problems. Aha. That is pretty cool.
That is also a pretty valuable best practice to use that as much as possible. It's explicit. It's just simply makes things more clear. So yeah. Shoot this off and see if it. Okay.
What's installed?
Terminal. Where is it?
Looking.
Okay, this kind of went. Shows the skills here. Okay, this is weird. Okay, let's take a look at terminal and fix that. Get more instance and then what needs fixing.
Terminal.
Okay. Okay, that's weird.
Maybe it looked
kind of
at the wrong
skills.sh.
Maybe it looked at the wrong terminal.
or stopped before that. Like we might have wanted. So let's do plan B. Let's just copy paste.
Yeah.
I mean, you only have one terminal, but we got that whole skills.sh conversation in there as well.
Let's try it one more time, because I really would like to have it working. Okay, so now we don't have a terminal. If we tell it the same thing again.
Yeah, you can go back to that conversation. Yeah, I'll do it like that.
Okay.
No terminal output. Yeah.
Perfect. And now.
Yeah, it seems like Bob got confused because of that skill.sh conversation.
Yeah.
But actually, what I would do is go back to that point where it got confused, and work from there.
Okay.
You can do scroll down.
Yeah,
you can next to the copy that error. Yeah, right. Roll back to this message.
Okay.
Because I mean that's all trash in your context window. So as soon as you got a chance to, like, if you took a wrong turn or something didn't work the way you planned it to, then going back is always a good idea. But we don't have the wait. We don't have the error right now. You have to reload the page.
Oh yeah. You are right. Okay, now we got it. So what's your take on using a new task or session? I like to do one task in one session and then create a new session. So I rarely continue the conversation in one task or session.
Yeah, very much. And I really like that concept of that smart and the dumb zone. I don't know if you've heard about it.
No.
I'm kind of saying that like the models are way more intelligent if you stay somewhere under the 100,000 token mark. There was a kind of viral talk on the AI Engineer conference last year that kind of made that concept popular. Actually, we might want to do the default. I don't know why it's not working. Take a look at terminal and fix them. Maybe because we restarted that term. I mean, maybe if you start a new conversation, this might be a thing because we restarted that terminal, potentially.
Let's try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, then we just copy and
paste.
Yeah.
No terminal output was captured. Okay.
Wait.
I know, but yeah, Bob will then run that by himself. Honestly, copy paste being probably.
All right. Let's stop this here. Yeah, let's create a new session, right?
Yeah. You can just Control A and just copy paste the whole thing.
Of course, Control A does not work in PowerShell.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Is there anything clear terminal? Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Maybe this? Nope.
Yeah, you can't jump to the.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna blame that on Windows. But you're doing good.
Yeah.
Scroll on. Oh, you lost it.
I lost it. No, I don't want to. Okay, one last try.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. And now
fix it in there.
Yeah,
that's also pretty neat if you paste text in there. You could even click on it and edit it and stuff.
On the pasted text here.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice UI.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Thymeleaf thingy.
Yeah.
I know. Never used Thymeleaf, so it's kind of gibberish to me.
But I like to use Thymeleaf in these applications because it's really slim, and it works out of the box pretty much all the time. So that's why I'm a fan, and I did not want to use it previously because you actually had to write HTML, and I hate that. I can't do any design. So that wasn't a good fit for me. But now with AI, the AI can make it look nice and write all the HTML.
Crazy how it completely changed how we use some technologies?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so can you do it? Okay. Might need to restart this, right?
Yes. Yep, started. So, I'm not sure if I don't have to clean install. Yeah, no, I don't need install, but I need to clean maybe for it to rebuild. Still the same.
Is this the same thing?
It looks pretty much the same.
Big old arrow.
Yeah, that's enough. It will know what to do, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the part that can take some time, going through it step by step. But then again, we could also, like, the way it is right now, Bob doesn't run it by himself. We could very much enable Bob to do that.
Yes, I would like that very much, because that's more agentic, that workflow, to leave everything to the AI actually. Okay, so build it, start it, and test it yourself. Right?
Yep. Let's just do that.
I just stop this. Yeah,
sure. Do that. Yeah. And I mean, part of it is a design choice within Bob. Bob is not meant for the. It's not. Bob is pretty good at what we're doing right now, but it's more optimized for actual brownfield enterprise situations. So just randomly building and running stuff is not something we encourage Bob to do, even though it is plenty capable of doing it. I might want to approve that.
Yep. So it's starting new Maven Spring Boot run. Yeah, okay. But also with other agent harnesses, I always have to instruct it that it should build, start it itself, and then check if it's working itself. So usually I want the application to have lots of unit tests and integration tests. So for the sole reason that it can itself run all these tests and fix them without me always telling it what to do. Because of course I want all the errors to be fixed and all the tests to run through, right? And I don't always want to check that out myself and then copy and paste like we just did the error message.
Yeah. And for the projects that I'm building here, which are mostly demo projects, I have exactly that. I mean, they're like usually a pretty wide mix of different technologies, just for the sake of it, to make it as complicated as possible. But I have some pretty primitive integration tests, which are mainly shell scripts. And as soon as you have those, things are a lot, like, Bob will happily run those and execute those, and this will give it a lot better handle on what is happening. And yeah, here as well, like, there probably are some very capable frameworks that we could use for that. Would be like a little bit of extra, not necessarily effort, but time that we would need to invest there. And that would definitely make this a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's
So
see what it's doing. So it did start. I'm just not sure. It's supposed to sleep for 15 seconds. But I'm not sure if it understood that this will never return.
We did get that
What?
that result back, right? So yeah, this might be an endless loop. Oh, hey, look at that.
Okay. Okay, it probably by accident. No. Okay, I said build it started, and it did build it, and then something failed, and it fixed something probably.
Something failed and it fixed something probably. And that is exactly why good software practices are just as important as they've ever been, and maybe even more important. Like, we could definitely dig in here and see what was changed. But committing your stuff frequently is even more important than it ever was. And
yeah,
the way I do it is very primitive these days. I just tell Bob to commit.
Yes.
And if you do that regularly, you get really good commit messages and you get a good overview of what was changed. But hey, we do have a habit tracker that tells us to drink 8 glasses of water and exercise in the morning.
Yeah. And it already ran this morning. This is amazing.
Isn't this great? Keep your streaks alive.
So I would like to create a new one. Or did we? Nah.
Oh, and look at that. We can create new habits.
Okay. Do a live coding session. Weekly.
That's a good daily habit, I guess.
Oh, is it daily?
I don't know. We talk about daily habits.
Well, let's see.
Maybe we can choose a color. We can choose an emoji.
Okay. Okay. Uh-huh.
Can we? Ooh, fancy emoji search.
I can. All right. Java, because it's a Java string.
Yeah.
And we will take something.
Picker.
Yeah. Wonderful. And then create.
Let's see. Do a live session. Create it. Okay, it's there. We don't have a streak yet, but it's there.
All right. And let's get back. Yeah.
Can we also track it? Yeah, it's okay. We can mark it done, I guess. I mean, not quite done, but I mean.
Okay. Do we have a calendar?
That's pretty neat. So we've got that little database is a local file here at this point, right? I mean, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's
so every time we restart it, it will be only have the seed data in it.
Every time we now start it, we have that.
There's the database. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
It's persisted there. Awesome. So it's
unless we have some configuration for H2 that it always removes the insert, but it's update, so that should work. Yeah. Pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
So let's do a commit. Let's tell Bob to commit, actually.
Yeah.
Kill this.
But I would actually create a new task for that, I guess. I mean, this one is so full of bug finding and stuff.
Yep. So create a bunch of useful commits. Commit. Yeah, commits.
Commits this.
Straight to the main branch.
YOLO.
So that's actually something I keep writing in the agents MD, that everything it does, it should commit and push it straight to main for my personal projects. because then I have this history of what has been done.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's so wild how this Git thing that Linus came up with, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, it's still like the backbone of what we need to do.
Yeah,
and we still didn't
that's
figure out
crazy.
anything better.
Like this is one technology that AI didn't even touch. It's still the same, but AI is interacting with it.
Yeah, and it even embraced, like, it made it even more important. Oh, look at that. There's a bunch of, well, that's a lot of commits, no?
Yeah.
Looks like a good to-do list.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Just create some, nice.
The git ignore, where is it?
It failed to write git ignore. That is a bit weird. Where did that happen?
Access denied.
Access denied.
Oh, yeah, it missed a backslash.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not good.
It did it again, damn it.
No, that's good. Git ignore is created. Yeah, okay. Should be here. Yeah, it's here now. I mean, you can add those approvals. Actually, wait, go down a little bit. You can add, click here. You can add them globally to an allow deny list.
Okay.
If you choose to. I mean,
you
can also add stuff there manually. So depending on,
I guess, right?
Yeah, right, here it is. You can add all sorts of stuff in there if you like, but here you can approve it for that task.
Yep.
Yeah. Getting your stuff in Git and getting an overview of what has been done. Like what I am doing a lot with the small demo project that I'm working on is work a lot in GitHub issues.
Yes.
And use that as an issue tracker.
Right.
And then I have my version of the grill me skill always adds the summary to that as a comment to that issue. So not summary, the plan, and then also the summary. So I track everything in that issue. And then I also have that GitHub action that runs on every pull request, and does a pull request review, which is also really neat. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's a million ways to do it, but like every team has to figure that out, how they want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Git add.
Yeah, so it's still creating all those Git commits.
Yeah, but if you look at this, the integrated, looks good.
Yeah, that's really cool, because sometimes I forget to commit something, and then I also have this huge chunk of changed files, and it's really hard to separate those into useful commits. So I like this very much, that it does that for me. Okay, let's do this.
It's just auto approve everything. Git. What could go wrong?
Okay, so two things I noticed is different from Bob v1. So I can have parallel tasks or sessions.
Yes.
So I could do something else here in parallel.
Totally.
I like that very much. And the other thing I hated, that was really annoying. Somehow, whenever it edited a file, it jumped to it. And then I had to look at those changes, but I wasn't interested in those. I actually wanted to read some other files.
There was a way to disable this.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, you had to actually do that in some JSON config file.
All right.
Later on, way after you tested it,
Yeah.
This it became like, I think it was even the default. I disabled it in my system like at the very beginning, but yeah, I feel you.
But yeah,
that was
those
one of
are
the design decisions that we very much changed.
Very, very good. Yeah, those were two things that I noticed almost immediately, and that was really annoying, because that was one of those things that you mentioned in the beginning that you just kind of used to. You know, you're used to that usability to have multiple parallel sessions that you can work on.
Yeah, but look at that. The HSMD skills log JSON. There's some stuff that Bob did not commit, but that sounds very reasonable to me.
Yeah,
that's actually stuff we don't necessarily want.
Yeah, but
we can.
I would want those committed. Yeah,
let's tell. I mean, I always like to keep the plans out of my sources, but
oh really?
Yeah, but the skills, I don't like. I mean, there was a time when I had Bob create like an actual folder where I put all the plans in.
Yeah.
As I said, I like to track them together with the GitHub issues.
Okay, so you're outsourcing those plans to GitHub issues.
Yeah, persisting them away from the source code.
Okay.
I mean, there's no right or wrong there, but it's just, if you work on a lot of, if you create a lot of plans, you will have a lot of markdown files in your root directory.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings us back to those things I mentioned earlier with these subtasks. So if you create issues for each one of those subtasks, it's actually easier for humans to read in this GitHub GUI, right?
True.
In the GitHub tracker, basically. Commit the skills and the plan. Okay.
It's starting to get late, right?
Yeah.
It must be funny for people, particularly when you watch the recording. For anybody watching this recording, it's 10 p.m. right now. And we both got kids. So
yeah,
this is not our normal time to be I'm even missing the words for like leistungsfähig. What's the English word for leistungsfähig?
Yeah, the performance just goes down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's really important to add that if you have children, that's a significant change of your life. Day-to-day cycle, right? Day-night cycle. Yeah. Okay, it is done, it says, and there is not a change in sight. That's wonderful. And it's all pushed to main as well. So if we go here, we should see something beautiful. Oh yeah,
beautiful.
Let's create a README file as well.
Oh, we don't even have a README file. We definitely need that.
Marketable. File. That is we want it to be. What do we want it to be?
We want it to look good.
To look good. Oh, okay, that looks good. Yeah, it's getting good.
It might not be the most eloquent choice of words here. Commit immediately. What could go wrong?
Okay, let's start this as maybe the last action here for today. Just to look at it one last time. So if our calculations are correct, it should still have that live coding session, but I think it's also still running somewhere, the session. How do I get to the sessions here?
Yeah. You scrolled way up. We got a lot of red in our terminal, and red is not a good color.
Yeah. This is an error because I imagined that it is already running. Wait, because I can do things here, right? Yeah, it's still running somehow.
Yeah, I mean, we've got that Bob task where Bob started it.
Yeah, but it shouldn't run anymore. Well, whatever. It should kill the running application. Oh, well, the run habit tracker. I don't know what it understands if I say application. Node. Okay. Why Node?
Yeah, Bob will probably have to look that up globally.
Node exit. Why? This is not a node. No. Should be a Java application running.
Yeah, this is weird.
So yeah, Java exit. Okay.
It's more reasonable.
Yeah.
Pro just assume that like 95% of habit trackers out in the wild are written using Node.
Yeah. Okay. It found some process. Let's hope it's the right one. Otherwise, we see each other next time.
If that stream crashes now, we know why.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Nope, still running.
Oh, or is this? It killed one.
It seems to be another one running. But I think we made our point. Okay, so we got a running application, and it does work. It just seems to be some kind of mix-up.
That's not the. Why is this thing still
working?
Well, it's unkillable.
Yeah. It's too robust, you know? Okay, I kill the OpenJDK task. Let's try it. Yeah, I think I killed the right one. Yeah, so this is not responding right now, but this one is booting up. It's booted, and it's running.
And the live coding session is still there.
Yeah, wonderful. That's cool.
Amazing. We've got a $1 million business idea, a habit tracker.
Absolutely. And if everything went well, we have a README as well. No, we do not.
We don't have a README.
It's probably waiting for some something. Yeah, input required. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's reasonable to ask for confirmation before you just push something straight to main.
Well, if you want to be that conservative, yeah.
And I mean, you did say commit immediately, but that is quite. If my boss tells me just build it and push it straight to prod, I'm like, yeah, you're really sure about this?
Sure about that? Yeah, that's good. Okay.
See, did it?
Yes.
There we go. Bob's habit tracker. Oh.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Looks good.
Yeah.
Localhost 8080, best domain on the planet.
The localhost. Right. So I have pretty much everything I wanted to show. Is there something you were missing, you wanted to point out, or you wanted to give to the audience?
I guess there'd be like a dozen different things we could talk about, but I think this was a great live demo, live coding session. The only thing I want to point out is, if this is interesting to you, check it out, bob.ibm.com, sign up, free trial, 30-day free, and just try it and see if you like it.
Yeah, there are still 40 Bob coins if you are a new user. And like, I just quickly looked that up. How much did we spend? We spent 8 Bob coins now. So that's not too much. I guess you can play around quite a bit with 40 Bob coins.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Okay. We have a user database mode, and if
Informix.
I don't know what that is. You
know? Well, I guess many people don't. But I only had very few touch points with Informix, but it's like a very popular IBM technology, and there will be stuff for Informix for sure.
All right.
But we don't have a premium package for it right now, unfortunately. But there is talk about Informix.
Okay, whatever that is.
Whatever it is, look it up. It's actually pretty cool.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that comment.
So, thanks a lot, Johannes. It was great being in a Java themed live coding. Oh, I love that. Love that. That is like a real dedication. This is awesome.
Yeah. No. Thank you very much for joining me, for showing me all that stuff. I think it's a really good IDE. I'm not sure I'm missing anything. I mean, the sandbox thing is just fun. But yeah, I'm not sure how many people actually use it. Yeah,
I have a suggestion. Let's just check in, I don't know, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, whatever feels good for you, and let's take a look where we went till then.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And we should then actually change existing, like you said, brownfield project.
Yeah.
Then we really see where Bob shines.
Yeah.
Just like this helmet. Okay. All right. Max, thank you very much again. Thanks to the audience for all the questions, all the comments. Yeah. And see you next time. Have a great day.
Love it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.